dear parents and families. My name is Grace Longe, and I am a Deputy Commissioner of Police. I got to know about the inner circle in 2021 when I was worried about the way my last son was growing. He turned 9 last month, June, and I had him after 11 years of marriage. Having spent that long to wait for him, and after he arrived, the product I expected was that I should have done better than what I saw. And so I was not impressed at all. I began to ask questions, I began to search on the net, to read materials, how or what I was doing wrong that I needed to correct. And my friend and daughter, she told me about Coach Wendy. She gave me her number, and immediately I called her. I consulted with her, and the first thing she told me was that parenting is about you. It's not about your child. That those things I am seeing in my son are what I am, and therefore I cannot give what I do not have. So I have to work on me. And I was kind of baffled because I did not really understand. I was like, if I am like this, then I am really not okay. But all the while before that day, I had always thought I was okay. And so he gave me an assignment that day to go back to my roots and write down things about how I was parented. That was a very hard task for me because I did not understand how connected they were. But as I registered in the inner circle and became a yada, I got to understand that the way I was raised actually impacts on the way I raise my children. And so I began to follow her on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, until it was time for me to get into the inner circle. December 1st, 2022, I officially became a yada. And the first task we got was to set our goals, parenting goals, establish our values, what do we stand for as a family, and that was the beginning of the journey. And so since I became a yada, it has been from glory to glory, because not only has my motherhood been impacted, I have personally been overturned. All the courses on the inner circle, I do not miss any of them. And the biggest one for me was the dealing with parenting hurts, because, like I said earlier on, I never had an idea that it had an impact on who I am and in my parenting subsequently. And it also had a very big impact on me as a police officer, because I used to be a very emotional person while I was growing up. But along the line, I found out that the kind of duties I have been exposed to, my surroundings where I work, had impacted so much on me that I had lost my sense of feeling. I couldn't really, it didn't really make sense to me when somebody is crying. So, after the dealing with parenting hurt course, I got my emotions back. I can actually understand, empathize, and sympathize with people. And so for me, that was a game changer. I also saw that my son was also growing up to be somebody that even when I fake to be crying, he's not moved. Because there are some times that he does some kind of things that I actually feel like crying. I cannot cry. And I fake to cry and he just walks away. And that breaks my heart the more. But, after that course, I was able to also break it down to his own level, to be able to perform some of the exercises, the therapy with him. I also had a challenge with him that he could not sit down one place. In fact, if we go to church, he is everywhere. And I used to be so ashamed because my husband is a pastor and I am a deaconess. And so people will see him all over the place. He will be making noise. He will be playing. It was a lot of problems for me. And I know the daily connection tools too are also very, very fundamental, significant for me. Because there are some of them that we have to sit down together and just focus on a particular point. Continuously doing that added up to him being able to sit down. And then there is also this understanding your child's learning style. It was also significant for me because he was not doing well academically. And I was wondering, I used to come first. And my father was very, very meticulous about keeping our results. So I will bring them out. I will look at them. And even my husband, he made a first class in law school. So I was wondering, how can my child not be able to, do well academically? And so that course made me to really understand who he is and how he learns. So the inner circle for me, my husband has not been in the inner circle body. From the daily connection tools, since he came back from his assignments, since he completed the assignment, we have been doing them together. And also because of the nature of my work, I was unable to follow up, diligently with the daily connection tools. And in fact, I could not even do my assessments with coach last year because I felt I did not do enough. So I had to voluntarily repeat level 1, which is what we are going through now. And I am so happy I did because my performances of the daily connection tools this year has so improved, and I look forward to doing my assessments this year with coach. I urge you, if you are not yet in the inner circle, please run into the inner circle. As a law enforcement officer too, I've been able to trace several of the problems we have in the nation today, to, I'm thinking whether I should call it wrongful parenting or, unintentional parenting, because you have a lot of parents who are not absent parents. They really do not care. Like coach will always say, you can be present, but without knowledge. You can be there with your children. Maybe you're not working. You are there with the children, but you don't know what to do with them. So it's like you're not there. So a lot of the challenges we have with our children, young men and women, running into problems here and there, societal, values are almost debased, non-existing. They are all traceable to the home where you have absent parents here and there. And so I recommend the inner circle for every parent. In fact, the government should adopt the inner circle as a prerequisite before any young man or woman enters into marriage. So it is the inner circle is a game changer. Anytime, anything. The resources and even the conference, the Fathers Conference, and then the TIP Annual Conference, the one for last year, was the Parenting Advantage. What can your children say about you? What can they say gave them an advantage because they are your children? All the speakers were just, in fact, the inner circle is not about church, but it is a ministry for me. It's a ministry for me because the kind of things that Coach Wendy says are not things that you hear everywhere. And they are not things that flesh and blood will reveal to you. It can only come to you as a function of your positioning in the spiritual. And so, whether you're a Christian or you're a Muslim, please run into the inner circle. The choice of speakers in the TIP conferences they are carefully selected by the Holy Spirit himself to deliver value to every participant. So I am admonishing every yada, don't just come alone, come with your family, come with your friends, and most importantly, come prepared, come expecting to receive and to implement. Remember, the Holy Book says that it is not enough for you to hear. It is in the doing that you get the message, that you get value. So don't just come taking notes and keeping your notes. Come with an intention to practicalize, to break down, and to contextualize within your own home, your family, the principles that are going to be delivered in the TIP Annual Conference. Thank you very much. Thank you, Coach Wendy. Thank you for your team. You guys are awesome. What you guys are doing, you are just bringing America down to Nigeria. Because talk of on time, talk of follow up, you are not found wanting. Thank you very much. Thank you, TIP. God bless you.